Good morning, students. I welcome you to this session of Hadoop. In today's session, we will install Hadoop on Ubuntu. For this, we need to first open up our VirtualBox and start the Ubuntu virtual machine, and then start the terminal. Then I have got this file for you in which all these steps for installation are written. So just by following these steps and copy pasting the commands into the terminal would help you to install this single node cluster. So I'll be just writing all these commands and installing the single node cluster. And I'll be giving my inputs wherever required. Otherwise, you can just follow on-screen instructions to install this single node cluster. The first thing that we need to do is to update our system. Okay. For this, the command is, and we can just paste it here and start our installation. Once done, the next step would be to install Java. This will take some time. It is going to install the latest version of Java. Since Hadoop is written in Java, so Java is the prerequisite to use Hadoop. So now Java is being installed. It has been downloaded. Once Java is installed, then we'll check the Java version. So now we'll check which version of Java has been installed. So you can see the OpenJDK runtime environment build 11.0.8 has been installed. So that is one thing done in this installation. Next, we would create a dedicated Hadoop group and a dedicated user. So this is the command to create the group. So let's write this command here. So the group has been created. Next, we need to create the user in this group. So we are creating the user with the name as HT user. Okay. So let's create this. Let's keep a password for it, a short one. So now the user has been. So let's check whether we have created the group and the user. So it says that HT user is a part of the group Hadoop. Then next we need to install SSH, okay, secure shell. You can read the details. It is required, because otherwise you'll be required to give your password time and again whenever you connect to Hadoop. So this is the command to install SSH. So SSH is being installed. Once it is done, then we need to check with these two commands whether it has been installed correctly or not. So let's check whether SSH and SSHD have been installed correctly or not. So yes, both of them have been installed correctly. Now you must generate a secure key for this connection. So we must first log in as HD user. So now we are logging in as the HD user in which we'll be installing Hadoop. And then we will write this command. We'll generate a key and add it to the list of authorized keys. So first we will generate a secure key. So this key has been generated. Next, with this command, we will add it to the list of the authorized keys so that it recognizes it each time. So this is done. We'll just connect to the localhost so that we can see that we can connect to Hadoop without any problems. So this is also done. These steps are required so that you can run Hadoop easily. There are no, interruptions in your usage of Hadoop. Now next we want to install Hadoop, so we must download Hadoop. Okay, for that let me take you to the browser. Tell you how to do it. I've already done it. So you can write here and then within Google you can write Hadoop download, right? I have downloaded Hadoop 2.8.5. So you can also choose a version of your choice. So I've downloaded Hadoop 2.8.5. When you click on here, you download this file, Hadoop 2.8.5.tar.gz, right? This is the executable file, 235 MB, right? So I've already done it. I'll show you. It's in the downloads folder. You can see this. This is our executable tar file. So it is in the download folder of the user Ajay, right? So we'll copy it in the home folder of HD user. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay. So next step here is, we need this executable file. So let us copy it. So I'll give the absolute path here, copy. User Ajay has a home folder like this, and below that folder there is a downloads folder, and below that is our Hadoop. So I'll use HAD star.star, all the files starting with HAD, and I'll copy it to the home folder of user HD user. So if we list the file, we'll see that this executable file is now in the home folder of HD user, and we must now unpack it, unzip it, so that all the files can be extracted out of this tar file. For this, we use this tar command. So it will unzip all the files, and a folder with the same name, Hadoop 2.8.5, would be created. So if I list, you can see that a folder with Hadoop 2.8.5 has been created. Okay. Now, as per our wish, our installation wish, we would like to use this folder /user/local/Hadoop as our destination folder for our Hadoop. We would like to install Hadoop in this folder. So we must create this folder. But if we give this command, this mkdir command, uh, with HD user as logged in, okay, HD user does not have the super user privileges, okay, and this folder needs to be created from the root, and HD user is limited to all the folders in its home folder and below. So we must first add HD user into the super users list. For that we must log in as the admin user. So I'll log in as admin user. Okay. So now I'm logged in as admin, and I will now add HD user to this list so that it can issue admin commands also. So let's copy this and paste it here. So HD user has been added to the group sudo super user do. Okay. So now we can create the folder that is here. Just copy this command. Let's create this Hadoop folder. So this folder is now created. Or no, we must shift to, yeah, we must shift to HD user for this. Okay. And now we will use this command. Yeah. So this folder is created. We can check this folder by going to it. So if we go here, if we list here, the Hadoop folder is there. Okay. And if we go to Hadoop folder and we list, it's empty right now. Now what we will do is, we will copy all the files from our Hadoop 2.8.5 folder into this folder. Okay. So we will use this command to move all the files from our Hadoop 2.8.5 folder so that they are in this folder. So let's come back to root. Let's change to this folder, and now we can use that command so that all the files are copied into this folder. Okay. And if you list this folder contents, it's empty because all the files have been moved to the user local Hadoop folder. Once done, yeah, one more step is left. You need to change the ownership of this user local Hadoop so that HD user owns it. For this, the command is the chown command. So you can just paste this command here. This is done. Okay. Now the next step in the installation is to set up the configuration files. Some configuration commands you can write you can put right now in the configuration files, and some, once the Hadoop has been installed, even after that you can continuously change your configurations. All right. So first of all, we'll configure the .bashrc file, and we'll be writing the Java path there, like what is the path where our Java is installed. So to check Java installation path, we can use this command. Okay. So this is the Java path. So we must just pick up the first whatever is before bin is our Java path. So I'll just copy it from here. Yeah, this is the Java path that we need to give in our bashrc file. So I'll just open the bashrc file. Yeah, this path and other settings also we need to give in our this bash rc file. So let's first open it, and then I'll show you all the things. So this is the all the things that you need to write there. We need to copy all the things from here. Okay, so let me go back here. Let's close this file first. Or what we can do is we can copy that Java command that we just wrote so that we can use it later on. Yeah, we can paste it here. This is our Java path. And then we can copy this entire thing here. This can be copied and can be written in the .bash rc file. So let me copy it here. Yeah. And the Java home needs to be replaced by this. So we can there's some problems with copying. So once again, yeah, let's copy it here. So we have copied this, and all other things like have been written in this .bash rc file. Especially the Java home should be very clearly written here. And then by pressing Control X, you can exit by saying yes and pressing enter. Now you must update this bash rc file. So just use this. There's some problems with the path. Let me just rectify it. So let's open our .bash rc file once again to see why the error is coming. Maybe we have left something, which should not have been there. Yeah, this thing is not needed here. This just copied it. We didn't remove it. And now, so you see, source. This command would tell you whether everything is fine. Yeah. So now there's no message. So everything is fine with our .bash rc file. Next to configure is, yeah, you can also see your Java version. You can run these commands to see whether everything is all right with your Java or not. So just a check, nothing more. You can check it again here. Okay, so Java C version 11.0.8. Next is we must install our we must put this Java path in this Hadoop -env.sh file. All our configuration files would be there by default in the folder /user/local Hadoop, and below that etc and Hadoop folders. Okay, I'll show you all the files listed there. So I can just first copy this command so that I can open this file. I'll tell you how to use these files. So let me first go to the folder that we just saw there, so that you are clear where all your configuration files reside. So if I list the files here, these are all your configuration files, okay, which you need to open from this place. So coming back to your home folder, and then opening this file, Hadoop env.sh. So once you open this file, there is already a setting there of this Java home. You just need to paste the same Java home, the place where Java is installed. So we can generate it again, I think. Yeah, we need to generate it again. Let's see the command that we used before. Yeah, this command, and then from here you can copy the path. This was the path. And now we can open the file once again. and we can copy the Java home here. Okay, this is the Java home. That's the only setting that you have to make, and this configuration is also done. Next would be to configure the core site.xml file. Okay, but before that, you create a folder, a temporary folder, for all your temporary files, and make HD user its owner with these two commands. That is the first thing that you do before you can set up this core site configuration and properties. So this done, then you can copy this also and make HD user as its owner. Now we need to open this core site.xml file. So let me copy this from here, and once opened, you must put all the properties here within this configuration. That's all you need to do to set up the configuration. Copy all this. So I'll just discuss this. The property is hadoop.tmp.directory, and then you give the path of the directory that you just created. That would be the value, and it is a base for other temporary directories. And then you also give the name for your name node. So fs.default.name. Okay, so this is the name of your file system. All right, so you give this hdfs localhost :54310. So this would be now the value for your name node whenever you want to connect to your name node. We'll see it once we run our cluster. Then I'll discuss all these things with you. But copy these things properly so that you don't miss any opening and closing tags, right? Otherwise there would be problem. So I've opened it here, and I'll paste it here. I'll paste it here. Okay. See that all the tabs are proper there, the tags opening and closing, and then you can save this file. This is done. Next in line would be the configuring of mapred site.xml. See, if you are using version 3 and later on, then this step is not required. But before version 3, you will see a file as mapred site.xml.template. Okay, you must rename it to mapred site.xml. Okay, so I'll just copy this command first. Okay, let's copy this command. This command gives problems sometimes. So let's first go to our default folder where all our configuration files are located, and look for the file that I'm telling you. So it's here, mapred site.xml.template. Okay, we need to rename this file to mapred site.xml, right? So let's see if we can do it all right. So let's just paste this. Yeah, so it is done now. So no problems for this. We have renamed the file, the mapred site.xml.template, to mapred site.xml. Now we'll open this file and write the configurations there. Okay. So what configurations we do in mapred is we simply give the the processing path there. Okay, the host and the port that a MapReduce job tracker runs. So whatever processing needs to be done for this, you need to copy this configuration and put it there. Okay, so let's first open up the file with this command. Open up this thing. Then within that, just reach here the configuration part, and we need to copy these things here. So I'll just pick it from here and copy it here. Okay, and then we can just save it. And this file configuration is also done. Next, last one is the hdfs site.xml, right? So hdfs site is for all your cluster, management. Very important file. So before we can configure this file, we should create two directories name to specify our name node and data node and make HD user its owner. So I'll copy this command from here, paste it here. So this path is created, okay, and again I can specify data node. So another path is created here, and then with this command I'll change the ownership of these directories to HD user. Okay, this is also done. Now we will configure this file. Okay, and let's open it first, and then I'll discuss the configurations with you. Miss the S, I think. Yeah. So we open this file. Let's reach the configuration part here. Okay. Now let's see what configuration needs to be done here. First one is the replication. So if you are installing a full-fledged cluster, a replication factor of 3 would be there. For critical files, 5 would be there. Since we are imitating or we are simulating a single node cluster here, so we need to give the replication as 1. And once we start the discussions and subsequently I'll be showing you that you can change this replication to any number, and accordingly the files will have replicas according to that configuration. Then another thing is the block size, which is 128 MB, but for a single node cluster simulation sort of thing, I have just put it as 1 MB. Okay, you can put it as 2 MB also, 10 MB also, but for our work 1 MB would be fine. So this is 10485676 bytes, that is 1 MB. And then you specify your name node and data node directories. This is all the configuration that we have in this hdfs site.xml file. So I'm going to copy it from here. Okay, I'll copy it and paste it there. Just paste it here. Okay, remember we'll change these configurations later on, just to see how they work. So this file has now been configured. Now we need to format our new Hadoop file system. All the configurations that are required for the minimal start of the cluster are there. So now we must use this Hadoop name node format. Okay. So it is formatting the name node. So I think everything good. The version 2.8.5. Okay. So all these things, the name node has been formatted. Now what we can do is, once the name node has been formatted, we can start the distributed file system services. Okay, that we learned in our lectures so far. We have learned that there are 3 distributed file system services, or the DFS services, or the HDFS services, namely name node, data node, and secondary name node. So we can start these distributed file system services with this command: start-dfs.sh. Okay, this will start the distributed file system services. Let's hope that everything is fine. Our name node has started, our data node has started, and we can just put a yes here one time. Yeah. So if all these 3 processes reflect that they have started, then our cluster is ready to work with. Okay. So to check these status, we can just write the JPS command. So you can see data node, secondary name node, and name node, they have all started. So our distributed file systems have started. We have started our cluster, and now we are ready to work with HDFS. We can work with the HDFS command. We can store the files in the cluster. We can view the files in the cluster, and so on. Next, we can start the processing or the yarn daemons. For that, the command would be start-yarn.sh, and it will start the 2 yarn daemons, the resource manager and the node manager. Once done, you can see the processes or the status of all the processes with the Java process status or the JPS command, and you see all the services or the daemons or the processes are now running, and your cluster is ready for storage as well as analytics. Okay. In my next video, I'll tell you further about, how to view this cluster, how to use the, the default folder in HDFS, and how we can uh, see the various processes. Okay, how we can see the cluster. Okay, so that would be in my next video with you. Till then, you install this cluster and start working with HDFS. In my subsequent video, more about this HDFS cluster usage, about the default user folder, and about seeing the various processes in HDFS, and later on in Pig Analytics, right? So till then, thank you very much.